And I guess, yeah, I will just sort of touch on this. I made a note here. I'm not planning at all
I
on
was wondering for
really
you.
diving into this because we totally could. But I just wrote in the example of the understanding of human sexuality nowadays is so off the charts. Uh, um,
Yeah.
I guess out there, but the the sort of the main thread that underlies all of it that I hear constantly in these conversations is that my physical body doesn't tell me who I am. Like the biological function of my organs does not communicate to me my true identity. Like my true identity is my immaterial self, like my thoughts and my feelings. Like that's who I really am, and my body is just a vehicle for that. Which again is just building off this Gnostic view that my body is somehow lesser than my non-physical existence, which
Yeah.
is not at all like what you're saying. It's never been the teaching of the church.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like that's actually a very harmful thing. Like you have, I mean, major psychological issues that people face. And again, I don't want to go down this trail too much, but I
Yeah.
mean,
We
it's
don't
something
want
that we see all the time. But we have, as a culture, so bought into that idea that it's almost like we can't, like we're afraid to acknowledge it. Like it's somehow wrong to acknowledge that no, like your physical body actually matters.
yeah.
Like this is a significant part of you. Like
Yeah.
why do you hate who you are physically? I'm not talking like the body positivity movement. I just mean the fact that you have a physical existence.
Yeah.
Why would you attack that part of who you are?
Yeah.
So
Yes. That's that. I'm glad that you touched on it instead of me because I could not have said that anywhere near as articulate as you. And I just want to
nice.
tag one thing on. This is my footnote to Ben's epic rant or epic just statement there. I don't think either of us are trying to discredit any kind of gender dysphoria, but what we're really
Right.
trying to illustrate is the non-biblical view that there are two different realities at work here: the internal spiritual reality and the external physical reality. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like that. I think a lot of times this language comes up when we talk about like purity culture. This is not a knock on purity culture, but like when we talk about like lust and things, especially in Paul's verses in Romans, and some of those passages, right? Like wrestling with the flesh. He's not talking about physically wrestling with my flesh. Yes, like physical urges, he's talking about that. What he's talking about is a healthy understanding of the world and order as it should be. And he's wrestling against his own sinful nature and his desire to like rebel against the will of God. When we talk about the fall of Adam, which we might get to eventually, like it really becomes a point of pride where like, no, I will not bow my will down to you. And
Mm-hmm.
so when God comes out with an edict that is designed to be helpful and beneficial and to protect you, right? Then when you say no, I can't do that, I won't do that, that is sin, right? Like that's the idea that we're talking about here. Does that
Yeah.
make sense, Ben? Is that what you're articulating, or am I adding too much on there?
No, that's yeah, you hit it. Hit the nail on the head.